Public workers can retire after 20 years or more in the service and receive their benefits, but there are conditions. This story and more in the National Report.
Have you noticed an increase or decrease in your electricity bill? You know that changes in the fuel and non-fuel rates affect your bill. You should also be aware that changes in household activities affect your bill. Ask yourself these questions. Have the rates changed? Have there been more people at your home? Have your children been on holiday? Have you used your fan or air conditioning unit more often to beat the heat? Are any of your electrical appliances or equipment faulty? Have you added any new appliances such as transformers, water heaters, or pumps? Make it a habit to understand any changes on your electricity bill. For more factors that affect your bill, visit www.grenlec.com. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
With the details to the news for Thursday, 20th October 2022, I am Abigail McIntyre. Officials from the Pension Secretariat want the public to know a few very important points as it relates to who qualifies for a pension. There are 5 types of retirements that enables public workers to benefit from a pension, one of which is retirement on the grounds of service, which includes a worker's ability to retire after making 20 or more years in the service, even if they have not yet reached the age of 60. Other types of retirement includes retirement on abolition of post, retirement in public interest, and retirement on medical grounds. Technical Officer with the Pension Secretariat, Odessa Amadi Sylvester, was speaking during a special interview with the GIS on this matter.
There are the pension, which is pertaining to the established officers, as Mrs. Amadi Sylvester would have indicated. And there's also the ex gratia benefit, which is related to unestablished officers.
Head of the Pension Secretariat, Tonya Adams, explains that government pension is calculated by 2 main variables, the years of service and the last salary.
So a lot of the times people come in and they give us last salaries, and then we realize later on that their salaries are actually more because they would have gotten their present salary and there were incremental increases to those salaries later on. So people may find themselves very well when we're ready to pay out to get a little bit more than they even expected. So
that's good news, right?
Yes, right. So it's based on your last salary and your years of service. And as Ms. Sylvester would have indicated, there's maximum service. And at maximum service, which is 26 years and 8 months, persons will be eligible for 66.67% of their last salary. So that's where a lot of persons would have gotten the 66.67 from. It is basically when you look at your number of years, completed years of service, and you divide that by the base of 480. So when you do that, you're going to get 66.67%.
Parliamentary representatives for the parish of St. Patrick East and West has begun engaging their constituents to share ideas and plans for bringing business back to the parish and its town of Sauteurs. During a town hall meeting at the St. Patrick Anglican School on Wednesday evening, parliamentary representative for the constituency of St. Patrick West, the Honorable Joseph Andel, and St. Patrick East, Dennis Cornwall, spoke to residents about the steps to be taken to improve business development in the parish. Honorable Joseph Andel believes it's time to get things going again for the people of St. Patrick.
While we have not yet floated it officially, I can tell you that one of the things we have in mind, we don't have a proper name for it yet. In fact, we'll leave it up to the community to get a name for it. But the idea is to have a sort of turn Sauteurs into a sort of bazaar, at least one day in every month. The proposal is that businesses close in the morning of that day and they open in the afternoon, whether it be at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock. We'll have to collaborate with the bus operators to ensure that people can come and go and participate. So the idea is that you're open in the afternoon. You may set up tables outside of your stores. People who do not have stores but wish to partake, everything will be organized by a committee. Maybe you have to pay a small fee to the committee or something like that. And we plan to have people doing clothes, people doing art and craft, people doing food, people doing beverage, people doing live performances, whether with still band. Maybe one night we can have storytelling, poetry, different things along different sections of the town. We also wish to engage the people who run hotels, guest houses, bed and breakfast, people who have extra rooms of a certain quality in their homes, to open up to offer accommodation, maybe at half price, so that people in St. Andrews, people in St. George's can come up to Satters for the evening, have some fun, stay overnight in Satters, leave some dollars here with us.
Another area of development for the parish is addressing the breakwater issue that is affecting beaches and properties in Mount Craven, Mount Alexander and Darby, all the way down to Union. Honorable Dennis Cornwall says residents have lost their livelihoods, homes and lands. He assures the people, however, that government has already begun looking into the matter and others in his constituency.
Let me say to you that the solutions that we are now looking at is not going to be a quick fix one. We currently have on the ground consultants doing what you call an investigation and environment impact assessment, and then we have to basically develop a scope of work before we can basically tender out those projects and so on. Find the financing first and foremost to be able to do that, so that I am not going to give you the idea that this thing is going to happen next year or tomorrow. But we are prepared as a government to fix that problem in St. Patrick's East. That's the breakwater situation. I can also say that within the St. Patrick's East constituency, there are a number of small roads that I have bought the engineers from the Ministry of Infrastructure and the road officer here in Satters to look at. While I was campaigning, I did promise my constituents in Hermitage, Montrose, Liverpool, Rose Hill, Bathway, River Sally, that we needed to fix a number of those roads. Happy am I to say to you tonight that we have reached a stage where a number of these roads are now being tendered out, and our personnel in the committee or contractors are going to be the ones who would be benefiting from those projects.
Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, says if air, sea, and internet connectivity is not dealt with once and for all in the region, then the fight for regional integration would be futile. There are 5 strategic priorities before the heads of government of OECS, who are meeting in Montserrat at the 72nd meeting of the OECS Union. These areas are accelerating regional integration, reinventing the economy, valuing the environment, building resilience, and advancing equity inclusion. Among these 5 priorities are matters like youth empowerment, partnerships, gender equity, and innovation. Dr. Jules believes if the problems surrounding air, sea, and internet connectivity in the OECS region is not solved, then the possibility of regional integration would be threatened.
Our heads are preoccupied with the urgency of resolving these connectivity problems. There are several proposals on the table for resolution, and I am confident that we will get travel going again. Here again, experience teaches us that piecemeal solutions cannot work. This situation is an opportunity to create a network for travel. Imagine what affordable and reliable air and sea connectivity linking the entire chain of the archipelago can do for school excursions, festival and fete followers, hucksters and small traders, entrepreneurs doing business in the single economic space. Free and constant movement in our regional space invigorates our economies in the same way that we are told physical movement benefits our bodies.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education is reminding private candidates that Friday, October 21st, 2022 is the last day for registration for the CSEC January 2023 examinations. The registration period is from Wednesday, September 28, 2022 to Friday, October 21st, 2022. This registration process involves paying at the Treasury or District Revenue Office or online via the online payment portal pay.gov.gd, then taking the payment receipt to the Educational Testing and Measurement Unit at the Ministry of Education's office in Tantine, St. George. Upon payment, the online receipt should be printed, kept, and presented along with a birth certificate or passport to officers of the Educational Testing and Measurement Unit to complete the registration process. Meanwhile, candidates writing the May-June 2023 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, are being reminded that the period for the payment of examination fees and for registration started on Monday, October 3rd, 2022, and ends on Friday, October 28, 2022. Receipts should be submitted to the Educational Testing and Measurement Unit no later than Friday, November 4th. Two activities are carded to take place on the south of the island, a road race on October 23rd and a sports and family fun day on October 25th. This is being organized by the South Sports Development Organization with parliamentary representative for the constituency of St. George South, Honorable Andy Williams. The 4.2-mile road race on October 23rd starts and ends at the Limes Playing Field in Grand Anse, and those interested in participating are advised to come before 4 p.m. to get registered. The parliamentary representative, Honorable Andy Williams, says that these events are organized to bring back community sporting events and the community spirit in the South.
The idea is to bring back sports in the South, and we want to make that event an annual event. So every October, we call it the month of sports for the South, and we will be starting with a road race. And also, so the road race will be on the 23rd of October. And on the 25th of October, we are going to have a family fun day where you will have people from all over the South coming together to take part in races. You will have things like 60 meters, you have things like lime and spoon, bag race, just fun. We're going to have domino competition, we are going to have cricket, we're going to have football, just name it. And it's all part of bringing back sports in the community and bringing back that community spirit that we once had, where sports was actually a big part of it.
MP Williams said that the organization has been in communication with principals of different schools in the South to get their students' involvement, particularly for the road race.
What we have been doing is that we have been encouraging schools in the area to let their students come to take part, right? And because we think that the youths will definitely need that, and it's a great idea to bring them together, to bring the schools together, get them involved in this activity, because as we grow, we want the activity to grow with them, and we want them to be part of it.
Secretary to the South Sports Development Organization, Mr. Alvin Clouden, said that there are special prizes to be won from the road race.
We do have cash prizes, just about $3,000. For the first place person, male and female, it's $300. The second prize is $250, and the third is $100. And then the fourth to the 10th position, you get $50 each. And then we have a special prize for the youngest person, male and female, and for the oldest, male and female. So we asking everybody to come out, and it's a fun day, it's a fun activity, but it's all about getting people involved in getting healthy.
The Sports Fun Day starts at 9:30 a.m. at the Limes playing field. And that story brings us to the end of the National Report for today, Thursday, October 20th, 2022. Recapping the top story, public workers can retire after 20 years or more in the service and receive their benefits. But there are conditions. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Abigail McIntyre. Thank you for joining us.